City of Tshwane says it's now made a submission to National Treasury on why it shouldn't forfeit unspent development allocation grants. The Metro says it's developed recovery plans to ensure that it uses the grants before the end of the financial year. It's blamed underperformance on the 3-month-long strike by its workers, which saw a halt to services, delays in appointing contractors and delivery of materials and projects, and a change in financial systems have also been blamed. All right, let's get you the latest on the story. The city's Chief Financial Officer, Gareth Mnisi, joins us this afternoon. Gareth, it's great to talk to you. And it seems like a lot of excuses on the part of the DA. It's bizarre that the city does have so many service delivery challenges. And ironically, it does have access to at least some of the money that's needed.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for having us. Indeed, I think we have been experiencing a number of challenges in the past. But I think I can assure you that the city at large has put into place significant implementation plans in aid of rescuing the situation at play. There's been a number of institutional changes that we put in place, and there's been a number of technical acceleration plans which we are confident will help us to rescue the situation. So as part of our plans is POEs in aid of justifying to the Treasury our spending patterns in terms of improving the situation. We are still in constant communication with National Treasury. We are doing our best to try and ensure that we rescue the situation at hand. And I think in short, Michelle, we're positive that with the submission that we put in place, as well as the institutional arrangements and technical changes amongst the acceleration plan, that we should be in a position to ensure 100% expenditure in the event National Treasury does take into account our submission in a positive light.
Yeah. I'm just taking a look at the statement from the City of Tshwane and some of the contributing factors for underperformance. And top of the list here is migration from old financial management systems to effectively a new system. That doesn't really make sense to me, Gareth, in a context where surely migrating to a new system can't put a halt on service delivery. Shouldn't, I should say. Yeah.
No, indeed. I think these were more of the operational activities which barred the city from effective reporting to various stakeholders. So in terms of us upgrading from an old system to a new system, it's a part and parcel of our institutional changes in revamping our reporting structures in terms of ensuring that reports that go out to all stakeholders are foolproof and are in a prudent manner. So I think those particular delays emanated from us not being in a proper position to submit those reports on time, which we can assure you that we've effectively dealt with that situation at hand. As a result, we are able to fully report to all stakeholders timelessly with accurate reporting information as well. I think more on the system was to issue reporting that was accurate to all stakeholders. That was the major delay. It's more institutional in nature, and acceleration has been conducted. The system is up and running. It will assist the city in ensuring accurate information to all stakeholders in terms of improving our transparency and our prudency in dealing with our reports to all members of the public and all key stakeholders.
No, I get that, and I feel like you're using CFO speak in the interview this afternoon, when really I'm just asking for a simple explanation on how changing from one system to another system can cause these delays. What I'm trying to say is that's not an ideal situation, Gareth, and when it comes to service delivery, particularly insofar as Tshwane has been struggling and the Metro has been struggling, that kind of migration should not impact service delivery, right?
Indeed. I think that you're 100% spot on from a technical perspective. But I think you must take into account that our systems are seamless in nature. And in us giving confidence to stakeholders from a reporting perspective on a month-to-month basis, quarterly basis or midterm basis, we do make significant submissions in the form of data strings, for example, to your National Treasury. So in the event that the system is delayed from an operational perspective, those data strings and submissions are unfortunately delayed. Work on the ground might be moving, but reporting to give confidence to the stakeholders who are the transferring authority of funds becomes a matter of concern. So it was more for reporting elements on some of the key projects which led to these delays. In order for us to justify this, I mean, we've managed to spend 1.2 billion on the year-to-date expenditure out of the 1.5 billion that has been allocated. This is in some way or form giving evidence that it's concrete, that projects on the ground are moving from a year-to-date expenditure perspective. We are now giving confidence to National Treasury and all other parties that we have dealt with the institutional glitches that were buying us for giving those particular portfolio of evidence to justify that. So it does seem like an excuse. We do admit that, but we can confirm that the institutional changes that we put in place, the acceleration on fast-tracking the implementation and functioning of the system is working effectively now, and we shouldn't have these issues moving forward.
So, Gareth, I've got the statement from the City of Tshwane from yesterday, and it says that Tshwane makes a compelling submission to National Treasury. I suppose whether it's compelling or not will be up to National Treasury to decide. What happens if this application is rejected?
Look, I think we are going into this in a positive mindset. Positive mindset is on the perspective that we have met all the key requirements for the submission in order to justify our case. So we are confident that National Treasury will conduct an exercise in terms of ensuring, firstly, whether our application does meet the key requirements as per their communication. And in the event that there are shortcomings, of course, the process in terms of negotiation continues. We are hopeful that we should be receiving a positive feedback. In the event that we don't receive the approval from National Treasury, the city, of course, will have to go back, reconfigure its cash flows, look within our own internal resources in aid of funding the project's continuation so the service delivery is not stopped. So an alternative plan is currently being looked at in the event that the funds are not approved, but we're hopeful, taking into account that the submission that we put in place is backed up by sufficient portfolio of evidence, and we're hopeful that it should be taken in the positive light. But of course, like you say, we have to plan for an adverse event, and from an adverse event perspective, we'll have to go back, reconfigure our cash flows, look into key projects that will have to be rescued by the city. But I think that will be premature for now, taking into account that it's currently work in progress.
When are you meant to get that decision from Treasury?
Well, Treasury is currently assessing. We are hopeful that before the end of March, we should have received the final decision.
The City of Tshwane's Chief Financial Officer, Gareth Mnisi, thanks very much for coming on to Daytime Update.